Start. On today's Poker Live podcast, me and Mike Vacanti will teach you how to make $150,000 by either losing and or gaining weight with a friend or brother or relative, and also finding a person that will then bet you the $150,000. And we're going to reveal just how to do all of that today. What's going on, guys? I'm Stronger One, aka Chicago Joey. Poker Live podcast, they're updated, guys, on iTunes. Go on there, download them. People, I'm sorry it took me 6 months. It will not take me 6 months anymore. Also, I decided to put up the Poker Life merchandise back up, the OG, the original stuff, but it's only up for 6 more days, and after that, I'm not selling anymore. And we're going on to the next phase of merchandise, clothing, accessories. I don't really know what we're going to do, but we're trying to do something positive instead of focusing on all the cheating happening out there in poker. And that's it, man. Joining me today on the podcast is a young man who I say this man is a personal training expert. I got to make sure I have this right. Personal training / nutritional wizard expert, who is also one of the best people in the entire world to ever help you try to win anything to do with nutritional or weight loss for a prop bet. He's a man who helped out the Staples brothers win their $150,000. I still can't believe they won that much damn money from this bet, but $150K. And these crazy kids, they just booked another bet, and I'm pretty sure Mike's going to be heavily involved with that one. And basically, man, he's worked with me in the past too. We've had him on the podcast. He helped me get better at my own workouts, my understanding of nutrition as well. He gave me some of my best warm-up routines and best kind of lower body exercises that I've been doing that have certainly helped me out, and they probably helped me stay healthy too, because, you know, I'm getting older now. So without my no monies, yeah, I don't know, I might hurt myself or something like that. So we're joined by my buddy, one of the hardest working men in the entire world, Mike Vacanti. What's up, Poppy? What's happening, man? Welcome back. Welcome back to the podcast.
I can't live up to that intro, bro. It's too good.
I still can't get over how much you look like Mike McDonald. I mean, every time I look at, I forget, and then I see you, and I'm like, God damn! It's like looking. It's crazy how much just like Timex you look. I can't get over myself, Mike.
The poor man's Timex. That's me.
Nah, man, I don't know about that, man. I don't know. So, Mike, man, I feel like you've been doing a lot of things since last time we see you on the pod. Obviously, you were very heavily involved with the Staples brothers prop bet. And I don't know, man, it looks like they crushed it pretty hard. I mean, they made it look easy. Obviously, it wasn't easy. And now they made this other prop bet for $150K. So let me make sure I got this prop bet straight, because I think a lot of people have been asking me about what I think. I think it's in the bag. I think if they've already showed they got work ethic, they've already showed, I think if they have someone like you involved, who's a psychotic person who's willing to travel to Croatia to help them out when they need help, I mean, that's a big advantage. But in terms of the bet it's 50K. 50K to win 150K. The Staples Brothers are putting on 50K. They have 1 year till March 25th, 2019 to be able to do this. They have to be 9.9% or less body fat and on some sort of scale. DEXA, I have no idea what that means. I don't know what a DEXA scan is, but they're not allowed to take steroids or HGH. And Jamie said he's allowed to have surgery to remove excess skin. So this is the new prep bet they made. And kind of piggybacking on the last one, also a great incentive to stay in shape. And what's up with this new prop bet, man? My God, where'd this come from, man? Were you involved in the negotiations behind making this one happen too?
I wasn't involved. Like, I had talked to Jamie and Matt just about future fitness goals after the last bet and getting leaner for both of them. For Matt, obviously, to like lose some of the body fat he gained during the bulk, and for Jamie to continue losing body fat and build some muscle were goals. And so they were talking to me about, like, what do you think we could achieve and how long will it take? But in the days and weeks, couple weeks after the bet wrapped up, there weren't any negotiations that I was aware of. But then maybe like 5 or 6 days ago, I just got a text from Jamie, like, just booked it with Bill, under 10%, 1 year, like, and I had said, yes, I think you both can absolutely get sub 10% in that time. So yeah, man. You got it all right, by the way. 50K to win 150, and they're off. Like, they got their programs, they're killing it already.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing these guys on 2+2, and so if you guys didn't follow along with the Staples Brothers prop bet when they first put it out, you know, all the people on the forums are like, these guys got no chance, all this stuff like that. I think I was one of the only people that's like, I think they could do it. One, because they've shown the work ethic in the past. Two, because they got Mike working with them, and I've already worked with Mike, talked to Mike. I know Mike. Mike's crazy. Like, he's a great person to have helping you out with anything that you might possibly be doing. So I'm like, I mean, while it's going to be really hard, I think they can do it. And then when I see this, now I'm not as familiar with the whole body fat stuff. I've gotten my body fat measured, certainly not on like an expert level. So I have a general understanding of what I look like under 10% or right around that 11%, 12%, kind of in between the 8 and 12 I've been throughout most of my life. So when I hear that, like I know it's very possible to do, but you see a lot of the people on the forums and they're like, these guys aren't going to do it. Yeah. But I think they say it's hard for people to do it. But those people are probably doing it with 4 other things in their life. If this is their like main focus, what you're dedicating your content to and to your most of your days to, it seems to me like this is probably easier than the last bet, but I'm not sure. What do you think about that?
So I think the people who think that it's impossible have a lot of merit to their argument, in that in general, as human beings and like as bros, we underestimate body fat, right? So like if Joe Schmo on the street lifts weights for 2 years and like takes his shirt off at the beach and thinks he's at 8%, he's probably at like 12.5 or 13%. So getting sub 10% on a DEXA scan, which is arguably but probably the most accurate method of measuring body fat. It's an X-ray, takes like 10 minutes, costs, depending on where you are, like $40 to $50, but it measures bone density, how much body fat you have, and how much lean mass you have. And so to get sub 10% on a DEXA is incredibly difficult. Like you just said, it is the main focus for both these guys, like, because another 150K is a huge incentive, but also like they have a chip on their shoulder in like a reputational, like, I want to continue to crush kind of way that's super motivating. And yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's what I talked about. I put up a video after the bet happened, and I was like, well, these guys got a lot of social pressure motivation from, I mean, they put in all this work. If they start slacking, what do you think the people out there are going to say? I mean, that's going to be crazy. Like, oh my God, what are you doing? So I feel like this is a perfect way to kind of continue along with the journey. And then we
content out, because then it's like there are eyeballs on you continuously through that process. Like you can't really slack.
For sure. I mean, by the way, shout out to Perkins again, once again. I don't know, BP, the man's a legend. He almost got me eaten by sharks at one point in time in my life. But I mean, to come up and say, hey, I'll do this one with you as well too. And obviously not as good as odds as the last one, 50-1. So where are the guys starting at off now in terms of the body fat percentage? Do we have an idea of what Matt and Jamie are at and kind of their starting point and then where they have to get to?
So right now I just have estimates. I'll know Jamie's exact body fat like tonight or tomorrow, because he went and got a DEXA scan today, like this morning, I believe. And Matt's by the end of the week. I would guess Jamie's in the low 30s right now. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was 29%. I wouldn't be surprised if he was 34.5%. And Matt is probably 26 or 27 right now. So they have a good amount of fat to lose. Jamie's going to build a decent amount of muscle through the course of the year as well. So it's definitely, like, when you said this almost seems easier than the previous bet, I would say that it's well, I mean, we had that discussion, like, would it be harder to do this or harder what we just did? And I think it's close, like, to maybe just slightly easier.
Yeah, I mean, when I say easy, both of these are hard for sure. They take a lot of dedication, take a lot of sacrifice, a lot of focus on it too. And wait, I was actually curious too. So what is your body fat for comparison? So I think that's like maybe a good base one. If you were going to a DEXA scan, what do you think you'd come in at?
I would probably DEXA right now. I'm 5'11", 175 pounds. I would probably DEXA like between 10.5% and 11% right now.
Holy moly! Wow, that's
wild.
Also,
like, in a month, I could be 8.75, 9%. I'm eating a solid amount of calories, but yeah, I mean, look, you have to execute for an entire year. These guys are going to be strength training 5 days a week. They have their supplement game dialed in. They have their nutrition dialed in, and like, they hit the ground running. So it really is, when you're in a situation like this and you want it that bad, like, there's no taking 3 weeks off over Christmas, like stopping lifting. There's no having a month off because they're going super hard on Twitch or super hard on whatever, just grinding hands, like regardless of what's going on in their life, they're going to be continuing to execute on training and nutrition. And over the course of a year, I mean, they just proved you can really accomplish a lot. So we'll see.
You're 10%. My God, I don't even know what I'm in. I mean, someone in the chat said I'm over 30. If Mike's over 10, I mean, yeah, that's
yeah.
I mean, it puts it in perspective though, because I mean, I've seen you. We follow each other. You post a lot of stories. Sometimes you're wearing a shirt. Sometimes your shirt happens to go missing. I don't know where it goes, but if I'd probably, my shirt would go missing a lot too. I think actually when I was younger, my shirt went missing a lot. Turned out when I was heavily focused on the gym. So
very subtle marketing when the shirt goes missing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't know what happens. Like you're in the bathroom, you're like, oh, I did this workout today. I'm like, okay, oh my God, okay. You know what I'm saying?
With good lighting. And like, that's the other thing you got to realize is like, I'm sure people, if you follow many fitness accounts or even go on Instagram Explore, like you can get good lighting and get a pump and make yourself look much more jacked. It's all relative, but then you can turn sideways and stick your gut out and have bad lighting and you look 8% higher body fat. So
GTO light, it's all about the lighting, man. I'm telling you, like if I turn my light off here, I'm gonna look way different here. It's really all about the lighting kind of when it comes to photos, videos, that type of stuff. And I guess kind of thinking about what their plan is moving forward. Is this something where it's just, it can't be done in one day? It's something that just has to be done with consistency and with just over and over and over again, kind of sticking with that diet, sticking with those workouts, or, you know, what's kind of, I guess, the overall game plan approach that you think will be the GTO approach right now?
So the GTO approach, and the number one most important thing for both these guys, because they have a substantial amount of body fat to lose, they need to be eating fewer calories every day than they're burning. And how many fewer calories they're eating than they're burning will vary based on the phase they're in throughout this year. But they're both, I mean, Matt might get there early and then can kind of do what he wants for a month or two before the end, but they're both going to be trying to lose fat throughout the entire year. Jamie's has less strength training experience, especially recently. Mm-hmm. So in these first probably 4 months, even though he's going to be losing 1.5, 1.75 pounds of fat per week, maybe slightly more, we'll see. He's also going to be building muscle, because if you're a beginner strength trainer, or if you have a little bit of strength training experience or even a lot of strength training experience and you're coming back to weightlifting, you're going to be able to lose fat and build muscle simultaneously. Mm. That's one of the rare instances where that's possible. So yes, being in a calorie deficit, they're both tracking macronutrients and really focused on just getting enough protein, 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight, and then consistently lifting weights. So I have them both on separate strength training programs. They're both lifting 5 days a week.
And I've done your workout regimens before. Things are hard. It's very, very challenging workouts there, Michael. I gotta say the
we're up for it.
I mean, it was a lot of fun for sure. It was. I mean, I like the challenge. It was great for kind of for basketball and for improving in different areas of basketball too. Obviously, you improve your upper body, your lower body. It's going to make you that much more of a better player when it comes to throwing yourself around or getting position in the post, those type of things like that. So, but I'm not an aspiring NBA player like I was for a couple of years now. So yeah, now I guess what's your role going to be with this thing? Are you going to go travel around the world again? Because I know you went to Mexico a few times, I think, and you were in Europe a bunch. And I turn around and you're like, it seemed like I didn't know where you're going to be sometimes. You just go travel and kind of just help them out where they were at.
Yeah, well, so who you surround yourself with in anything, I have found, is beneficial in being more like those people, for better or for worse. Like, you surround yourself with drug addicts and you're more likely to trend that way. You surround yourself with people who are hardworking, positive people, your life's going to get better. And so having me around, because I'm a personal trainer and very into my own fitness, like, just has a positive impact in itself. Then there's the YouTube collab aspect of it, which was beneficial, like just getting more attention from making vlogs. I had my video guy for a good part of the year. Jamie was making daily vlogs. Like, just doing that was fun and worth it. And then doing some workouts in the gym and like literally just being there for nutrition, both for accountability and for information. This year, I'll probably be with them less, I would imagine. But yeah, I'm definitely open to traveling. We haven't discussed specifics, but I would guess there will be a number of shorter trips depending on where they are and how much I'm needed.
Mm.
But otherwise, it's online. Like they're reporting the results on a daily/weekly basis and getting programs as needed.
Yeah, people in the chat want to know how much was this cut. Yeah, what was the cut? What they get? What was the cut? 25%? What kind of cut we talking here, kid?
I wish I was at liberty to discuss those details, and I would if I could, guys.
Well, that's perfect. I'm going to speculate here for the fans because that's what we do around here. Listen, man, we take in some of these topics. We're going to speculate on here. So here's what I'm thinking, Mike, because I've been wondering about this too. I didn't want to ask about it. You know, I guess I wasn't that curious about it, but I'm kind of curious about it, thinking about it more now. So, okay, you obviously had to go travel. You had to go have the flights out there. You had to go. I mean, but there's also some positives too. You know, it's like I feel like there's definitely a mutual beneficial kind of thing happening because it is great exposure for you two to kind of be involved with that and crush it. And I mean, I don't know, we crush whatever it is. So, you know, we could debate on that part too. But I was thinking, I'm like, I don't know how much it could have been. And then I came to a number in my mind that was about $5,000.
Yeah, that's a good speculation.
What are you sitting back for? What happened? You sit back. You're sitting up. Now you're sitting.
I said you could speculate, and I was just going to sit and let you speculate and hang out. I was, you know, just relaxing.
What do you think about my train of thought there, by the way? What do you think? Was I missing anything?
No, you weren't missing anything. Look, here's what I will say for the people, and especially the people who are business minded, and especially in this 2018 era of like anyone with a cell phone can have a personal brand. If you have a skill set and you work at it, like there's business opportunity there. People drastically overestimate the importance of immediate cash and underestimate other forms of equity, goodwill, brand equity, relationships. So I didn't get like half of the 150K.
I thought it might be free for a while because I know you greatly value that stuff from obviously knowing more about you and how you came to be in this point in your life. So I thought there were chances you might have done it for free too. I mean, I didn't like it. There's a small chance, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Man of the fucking people, man. Shout out to Mike, man. If Nick says if that answers your question, Joey, he actually did answer my question. I mean, listen, I just asked the question for you guys. I know a lot of people out there wondering that too. So I'll ask the question. I know he's not going to answer the question. I mean, I know he's not going to be like, well, that's a great question, Joey. They gave me this amount of money. You know, it's not kind of how things go. I guess kind of what's been your feedback you've gotten from people out there? So obviously being involved in this is high profile. A lot of people are following it after the success. It was on Good Morning America. It's all out there. And I'm sure a lot of people have seen what they've done and they've been like, I'd love to do something like that. I'd like to. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that, right? Who doesn't want to get in better weight or better shape? Who doesn't want to lose weight? Who doesn't want to gain muscle? And I imagine as being someone that's been that closely associated with it, you're getting a lot more interest from people, a lot of questions and so on. What's kind of been the feedback that you've gotten from people? And has it been a little, maybe sometimes overwhelming with all the questions and kind of stuff like that? Or what's what's been the experience dealing with that kind of stuff?
It's shining a light on the fact that I need to work harder. And I actually plan on getting all my DMs to 0 tonight, like my Twitter, my Instagram. Because after I made a tweet, which was ambitious, but came from a good place, but was kind of dumb, just saying I'll field any and all questions. And it was just like an outpouring, which was amazing. Like new Twitter followers, people who really want to make fitness progress. And I was like consistently trying to get them down, but couldn't. So that's on my to-do list tonight, actually. But yeah, man, it was, I've gotten a lot of questions from people. Look, like if you just look at the population, and I think people who consume YouTube, social media, I mean, it skews probably a little bit more male and maybe a little younger, but maybe even not, like this audience. A lot of people want to lose body fat, want to have more muscle, want to have less pain, want to feel better, want to be more confident, want to like, yeah, that too, which I can't help with. And, you know, sorry. But People on the podcast are like, what is going on?
They can't see that anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. And I'm happy to try to help people achieve those goals. And that's what most of the content I put out, I try to have some kind of educational focus, whether it's actually like what to do to achieve this outcome, or whether it's mindset related or motivation or just whatever, like getting your mind right to achieve those ends. You look like you got something to say.
I'm listening, reading the comments. They're funny. I can't help it sometimes. They're funny. You know, I don't know what to say here. But I guess when people message you, do you send them with the app? Because so if you guys don't know, Mike's got an app. Is it Mike's Macros right now? Is it on the regiment? What's the name of the app? Because people listen, if you're watching this right now, you got to go download the app, at least try it out, give it a shot. It's something that I use over here. And you mentioned this content material. I think your nutrition diet, like your little manual, I think it was like a free 27-page, something like that, is something I used to give out to every single person that asked me about trying to understand and get an entry level sort of understanding of nutrition and fitness. So that was something I used to send out to everybody. And I definitely advise people to go check out the app as well too, because I know it's something you're working at. I know it's something that you want to make better. And I know it's something that it can help people out there when it comes to sort of conquering both sides of things.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate the plug. The Beginner's Fitness Guide it's like a free, it's an email capture. So you download it and you get automatically added to my email list, who I sadly never write and like need to, but it's a 30-page packet on intro to nutrition and training for fat loss and muscle gain. The app, if you want to track, really what I tell people is, if you've never logged food before, like you've never written down everything you eat, you've never tracked calories, you've never tracked macronutrients, and you're not happy with your progress, like if you want to be leaner, you should spend 30 days and write down everything you eat.
Mm-hmm.
Use my app. You can use a different app. You cannot use an app at all. Like I get people who send me pictures of literally using pencil and notepads, writing out food logs and like, hey, does this look right?
Mm-hmm.
That works too. But I would spend 30 days tracking every single thing you eat, because you're going to be very surprised at where calories sneak their way in. Form of snacking, in the form of, a late night this, in the form of just things you forget about, and just calorie dense foods that people don't realize are dense. You can eat 700 calories of nuts like that. And for a 5'10", 215-pound male, you should probably be consuming something like, it varies, but 1,800, 1,900 calories a day to lose fat at a reasonable rate. And if you're doing that if you're hitting 40% of that intake with a snack that you don't think about tracking, like that is what's preventing progress. So that's where I'm at on tracking. There's like 5 things to do to make fitness progress. Consistently strength train, 2 days a week minimum, ideally 3 days a week. Tons of good free programs out there. Starting strength, Mark Riptoe, if you have access to barbells, is great. I would add more arm and upper body isolation work than is in that program, but the program's solid. If you only can train 2 days a week, Google the Hustlers workout Vacanti. I wrote a blog post on there. It details a men's 2-day and a women's 2-day. That's free. If you want to train 5 days a week, Google 6-week Vacanti fat loss program. There's a free YouTube video that I detail the program there. So picking one of these and actually doing it the best you can for 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, being in a calorie deficit if you want to lose body fat, and then sleep, rest, recovery. Like, don't beat yourself up when you go have 10 beers and eat a whole pizza on a Friday night. Try not to do that again the next night. Like, you screw up, that's fine. You gave away some of your progress, and that's okay. But the next day, get right back on track.
So a guy in the comments says, this guy made one guy healthier, but don't forget the other guy is now screwed up with a screwed up metabolism. So what do you think about that comment that people, because I've seen that out there before from some people too, that what happened with Matt when he put on all that weight is actually unhealthy for him.
I assume a lot of it is trolling. But if they seriously are wondering about his metabolism as a result of adding 18 pounds of muscle and 30 pounds of body fat over the course of a year, I I don't know that there are any ill effects. Matt, he weighed in at 188.3 pounds. He's sitting at 176.5 pounds right now. Obviously 5 pounds of water plus glycogen store, but he's losing about 2 pounds a week post-bet. I wanted him to have blood work done. I'm not sure if he has or not, but I also was very curious where his cholesterol was at his peak, where his triglycerides were, where his fasted glucose was. But I don't know if we have that data or not. But like, I'm also going to play like the cop-out card a little bit, because these guys' overarching #1 goal was to win $150,000 and brought me in to achieve that end. And said, I'm coming out of the gate swinging, like I'm going to drink Coke. I'm going to eat all the calories. I'm going to put on 21 pounds of scale weight in the first 10 weeks. And because this is more important to me than maybe some marginal short-term, whatever, downtick in health or in how he feels.
My buddy Royal in the chat says, I was a client of Mike. I can vouch as well. Consistency over perfection and keep going. You can get there. Big shout out to Royal.
Big shout
I'm pretty sure Royal, I think Royal probably heard first. I'm not sure if it's probably from the pod, because he was also, I worked with him with the GTO club when I was doing that too. And for anything fitness, I was always like, definitely check out this thing from Mike. Mike knows what he's talking about here. So I felt like you always give a lot of good advice out there. But yeah, guys, we got a lot of people in chat. What's going on, everybody out here? Appreciate all the comments. Appreciate all the questions. Appreciate the podcast. We're back on the podcasting grind here pretty hard. And I know for you, Mike, you've always done a lot of content. You've kind of mixed through with some vlogs you've done. You've also done where you've tried videos of specific topics. And I know you did the Instagram route for a while, posting stuff on there. And then you took a break from Instagram for a long time too. And I guess kind of where you sit at with things right now with what your own focus is on. Are you doing, where do you kind of go from here at this point? Because, you probably brought more people in that are kind of following you from the Stables Brothers prop bet. And now you probably have a decision for yourself. What do you want to focus on?
Yeah. With content specifically?
Yeah. With content and kind of with your life in general. So
I'm more focused on my own fitness right now, just because I'm in one city and it's easier to not traveling. I'm getting back into boxing slowly. And last summer, I was planning on having a fight. I set a timeline for that fight. I didn't get a fight scheduled. And then like traveling, insert whatever excuse, like things fell off. But when you say I'm going to fight and get in the ring and everyone's like, holy shit, you're going to get in the ring. And then you don't get in the ring. It's like, you're a bitch. Like, what are you doing? And so I don't want to give another date just to let people down, but getting back into boxing to fight is on my to-do list. My video guy, Ben, is in London. We're trying to work out terms to get him back to the US permanently. Like, he was here on a 3-month ESTA visa, but for a permanent residency in the US, or at least longer term work visa, we need to jump through some hoops. So he graduates in 2 months here, and I'm going to try and get him back for to make like more really good YouTube videos. Yeah, man, I'm helping Gary V again with some nutrition stuff. I'm good buddies with his current strength coach, so getting back in the mix with those guys has been fun. And yeah, just living.
Just living. I'm sure your business online is probably going pretty well in terms of the online work that you do with people, and you. So it's like personal training, but is it how does it work exactly? Because I've always kind of wondered how that. Yeah, how does that work when you work with a client online and you don't deal with them face to face at all?
Online coaching?
Yeah. How does that work? Yeah.
You want me to walk you through like step 1 to?
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious because I mean, I know when I go work with a trainer in person, it's a much different thing because they're looking at your workouts. They're kind of seeing what you're doing. They might see you do something and be like, oh, why don't you try doing this? And then I kind of wonder how the process works. I feel like a lot of people can slack and the accountability isn't as high. And I wonder what would be the challenge for you to get them to make sure they're being honest and to make sure that they're kind of staying on track and to help them out with the form kind of aspects of things like that.
Yeah, definitely. So the feedback loop with online coaching is bigger than in person, right? Like for me to correct someone's form, the way I run online coaching is training program design, nutrition support, and accountability / communication. So weekly updates, daily emails. If someone wants help with their deadlift, they need to take a video as an online client. They need to take a video of them doing the deadlift and upload it and send it to me. Whereas if I'm training someone in person, they get that feedback immediately. The downside is that I can't work with someone who's in California or who's in Australia or who's in the UK in the gym. So if someone wants to work with me specifically, then online coaching is the only way basically to do that. But yeah,
and I guess
there's big pros and cons to both online and in person. And I would say that online coaching doesn't make sense for a lot of people with certain types of injuries, people who really, really struggle to get to the gym, right? So like part of the benefit of in-person training is you have training sessions booked and often paid for, that like there's a cancellation fee or you lose the whole session. So like you have to go. If you're paying for program design and support, there's no accountability specific to an individual workout. So it can be easier to skip workouts if you're working with an online coach versus someone in person.
Yeah, I kind of think maybe from the trainer perspective, I don't know, when I work with people, when I'm coaching people, I want people who want to put the work in, who want to put that effort in, that time in. If people are going to lie to me about skipping things, like I kind of don't want to fucking work with them anyway. And I don't think you're the kind of person who just trying to make as much money as you can. You want to do things that are actually going to be helping people and not just kind of doing something and then they just give you money and you're like, oh, well, I'm not doing, I don't know. That was like the biggest thing for me. If I coach someone and they're like, I don't think they're getting better, I feel like I'm wasting my time. I don't care what they're kind of paying me because I want to actually have a impact on them. And I would imagine you have the same approach to the things that you do as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you kind of have to make the environment, or at least make the relationship known that it's okay to screw up. And sometimes that it's okay to screw up massively, because when people don't think that they can admit fault because you're going to judge them, because they're going to be embarrassed for whatever reason, that's where lying comes in. And in my experience, it's much more prevalent with diet than with workouts. Like, I think people are generally more okay with admitting, I didn't get to the gym at all this week. And it's like, all right, well, what happened? Like, let's drill down on that. But they're more okay admitting that than saying, I really fucked up my diet again. Like, I know I fell off last weekend and the weekend before, but I just did it again. Like, I think that is where making the atmosphere of, well, consistency over perfection, but like, it's okay to screw up in the short term, because let's talk it through and let's figure out what's going on so we can get back on track.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we lie to ourselves. I know I lie to myself. So you asked me what I ate last night. I mean, it was probably a little bit out of line, but I don't remember. Like, I don't know. I can't tell you. Like, I don't want to lie. I can't tell you. So I think when it comes to diet, a lot of people are just sort of, they don't want to admit to themselves that they ate 7 pieces of pizza, or they ate, they had 2 entrees or something like that. I think when it comes to the weight loss side of things, and even when it comes to the opposite side for me, where I'm trying to put on weight, and you're like, did you eat? I'm like, well, I had 1 meal. It's like, it's not something you really want to admit to yourself, I think, a lot of times too. And that's certainly an issue for some people out there, I would imagine. I think it's an issue for myself.
And when you lie to yourself, it becomes easier to lie to other people, like a coach or anyone?
I think in terms of working with a coach, I feel like anytime I've worked with a trainer, it's been one of the best things I've ever done in my entire life. So, because I'm not really like that big on when I meet someone, I'm gonna say like, this is what I ate, I fucked up, it is what it is, and kind of just deal with it. So I feel like when it's more just by myself and I'm thinking about it in my mind, and I'm like, I just kind of block it out and I don't really think about it, and then it just kind of goes from there and goes from there.
Yeah.
So that's probably got to be a big problem for people out there. What if these comments out here? Someone talked about, Mike, what was the most you've ever benched?
The most I ever benched was, the most I ever benched that would be like somewhat impressive if you converted was 265 for 4 sets of 6 reps in like straight sets. The most I ever 1 rep, and I definitely could have 1 rep max more at that point. My bench sucks. I'm like not that strong. But the most I ever benched 1 rep was 295.
Yeah, that's awful. You're right. It's the worst. Too only. So we talked about this on the last. Was it the last pod where yeah, with Garrett with G-Man when me and G-Man did a podcast, and we're talking about bench press, and I told him that my most ever done was 335 back in the day when I was 19, 20. When we had the juice running through the veins over there a little bit. Listen here, let me tell you what happened, Mike. You know, steroids is like this comment. This
admit it though.
What?
I like that you admit it though.
I mean, listen, let me tell you what happened. Okay. I was working at TGI Fridays, and I had my friends, we were all like go to the gym, you know, we're wearing like our cut down shirts, we're bench press machines, kind of thing like that. And one of this guy at my work, I ain't gonna say his name, you know, maybe I'm gonna go, it was a long time ago. He's like, hey, you know, I know you work out a lot. You ever want to try steroids? I'm like, no. He's like, you sure? You'd be able to, cause I mean, I was always, my bench was already pretty good then. I was like in the mid twos and all my strengths were pretty high, but I was like, fuck it. Why not try it? Well, I might as well try it now while I'm young instead of when I get older. And it was kind of like this thing where it's like, I looked at it as like, you know, experimental kind of phase of life right there. So he gave me some stuff. What did he give me, man? This like testosterone, Deca, something like that. I didn't know. I'm an idiot. First of all, you can't be irresponsible like me. So then I had it at the time, and then I did it for a little bit. And then, I mean, yeah, the bench just fucking blew up, man. It was crazy. And then made a shirt that said Juice Man 315. And then my mom found it, and she like started crying. She threw it out. She's like, what are you doing? What the fuck is this? Oh, I was like, yeah, that's a good point, Mom. So then I stopped. Then that was it. I mean, it was like a short time period with it. I tried it out, but yeah, they definitely help. And it turns out it helps out a lot, especially I was already a machine in the gym anyway. And then you combine that with that, I was like, this is fucking insane. So
yep.
When people are like, I do them, I'm like, I understand why. I mean, it makes sense. It does. It is pretty wild, the kind of effect that they can have on you.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. There's some crazy stat too that, like, I don't know if this is right, but 4% of male high school athletes have used steroids in the US.
I can definitely see that, especially if you're in an environment where you see people around you doing it as well too, and you see them doing well, and you're like, well, why not try? Like, why not do them? And I guess, you know, why not? If someone's going to say, should I try them? What would be your reasons for telling? I mean, I think we all know some reasons why not, but what would kind of be your reasons as someone who has a more knowledgeable insight and kind of take on things?
Psychological dependence is the reason that I've never used any myself, and that I am afraid of them. Is like, so many things in life are relative, right? If I am training naturally and like get really strong, it's the progress I'm in love with. If I get on a gram of testosterone a week and watch my bench press blow up, I can't stay on a gram of test forever. Like, I don't think, or bad things would probably happen. But
right.
When you inevitably have to lower the dosage, come all the way off, like whatever it is, and this thing that you attach ego to, which is your strength, when that, I get so rattled with you in the chat. When that happens, like, I don't want to say you immediately go to depression, but that is my fear, is that coming off of them would do psychological damage to me. There's also, you don't want to, I'm not super educated on this, just as a disclaimer, but I'm down to talk about whatever I know about it. The recommendations from my smartest friends and the smartest people I know who do take them is that if you're going to, you absolutely should not before the age of 25, and you absolutely should not until you have like many years of proper strength training experience, because you're going to be able to make so much progress in that time that, well, one, you don't want to fuck up your endocrine system when you're too young, but also like there's so many natural gains on the table that you can take advantage of, that you want to do that before you start. And steroids is also like, it's kind of a weird word because mainstream doesn't really understand what it means, right? Like testosterone replacement therapy, which has been super trendy for a few years, whether someone has low testosterone or not, which is injecting low dose testosterone consistently. I think, I mean, for someone who's an older man who actually has low testosterone and is on like 100 milligrams a week, I don't think that's steroids, but really anyone who's taking, like the guy who's taking 300 milligrams of test consistently to feel better and be able to sleep less and be stronger in the gym versus the guy who's taking a gram of test and growth hormone and whatever else. Like, those are both steroids, but the result is going to be very different. One guy's going to look like a freak, like Mr. Olympia, not really to that direction, versus the other guy is probably just going to have a little bit more lean mass, higher sex drive, feel better. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting older here. I hear about some of the things that older people start taking. I guess probably older than my age, with the HGH and with kind of TRT and all these kind of stuff like that. I can't think of a reason right now I would choose to take anything like that. I guess I'm not really trying to, besides my workouts.
Are you symptomatic of any kind of low T, like trouble getting hard, lack of sex drive?
I don't think so. Not yet. Thank God. One day, maybe one day. Is that so? That's the primary reason they might take something like that, right?
I think that's the primary reason someone should look into it. But I don't know if it's the primary reason people do. I think the primary reason people use steroids is vanity, insecurity, or just like they have a mission. Like, if they want to be a professional football player, they basically have to take steroids to achieve that end. Like everyone in Hollywood and everyone in pro sports is on stuff.
Oh, interesting. I just watched this documentary called Icarus. Shout out to Icarus on Netflix. That was kind of a documentary about the Russian doping and the guy that ran the clinic in Russia. He was in charge of the lab that tested the athletes. And they talked about how he helped to cheat the system with all that kind of stuff. And then it kind of went to the Lance Armstrong kind of stuff like that. And now something I started thinking about was, well, if these Russian people have been getting away with this for so long, you're telling me that some of these top athletes in America don't have access to something that can hide it or whatever. Like, I would find that incredibly hard to believe. And obviously in some sports, some of the PED stuff gets out there, but it's very, very rare where anything like that does happen. But obviously you're way more involved in this world and kind of people and just, shaking hands, whatever, hearing things, stuff like that. So what's kind of your insight on what you might, kind of what you think going on over there?
I don't have anything juicy. I don't have any like direct to the source information. I'm not like dialed into that scene. I'm just speculating and pretty sure I'm right. So I have a lot of good insight to back up that bold claim that everyone in the NFL and like a lot of actors are on stuff, but you basically just have to be. Like, football is such a dangerous and like it's just such an aggressive sport, and the shit those guys go through on a weekly basis and are able to just consistently play. Like, you can't do that without drugs. Which great. Like, I mean, I just wish I'm a proponent of honesty and just wish it was out there. And by the way, I have a feeling, because we're talking about steroid stuff, and I think they're troll comments, but maybe some people are serious, or maybe some people just like don't really understand. But I'm definitely going to get steroid accusations for me as a result of this. So I'm down to put any kind of bet. Like, I'll take any test. I'll do any time in the middle of the night. I'll fucking do anything. Not even for a lot of money. For like $1,000, I'll do whatever test to prove that I've never used anything. Just FYI.
Wait, weren't you just in Russia, Moscow? Weren't you hanging out at that Russian lab over there? I don't know, man. You don't got the GTO masking agents over there?
I swear there's like a method to test where you, I don't actually know. I'm kind of talking out of my ass. I thought there was like an isometric, isopure, some kind of, and someone in the chat probably knows, but like some kind of test that you actually can't beat, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, man, it's a wild thing out there, because you feel like you'd hear more about this kind of stuff. You look at baseball, what happened with baseball. These players were juicing for years, and they were the top players. Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa. Shout out to my guy, Sammy Sosa. He a little changed now, but is what it is. And then all of a sudden it comes out and baseball changes, and these other sports, you never hear anything. Basketball, football, you just don't hear anything about this kind of stuff happening. And I think to believe, I mean, I kind of been ignorant, naive to a lot of things over these past bunch of years, but I think I'm like, yeah, there is stuff happening. It's just a little hard to believe that it's not really spoken about or talked about, or even whether it's even for just recovery, not even just necessarily for strength, or with blood doping and all those kind of different stuffs like that. It's I don't know, man. It's a wild world. I'd like to know more about it, but obviously I can understand why a lot of this stuff will never come to the mainstream, just because it would be a bad disaster. But I don't know. I don't know.
I would imagine it'd be bad for the league and like just total revenue and popularity of a sport, but I don't know either.
Yeah. Lemon Poker said, I guess that's true. A fitness coach that knows too much about steroids and talks about it will get suspected immediately. I guess that's something I'm curious about too. When you're in the fitness world so hard, you're putting out so much content. You obviously have a great physique, and I imagine you're going to get comments like that all the time. And how do you deal with that? And does that affect you at all? Or does it just like, you and is what it is? Or what's kind of your take on that?
The thing is, I'm not even very impressive for a natural. I don't even like using that word, because so many guys are like, I'm a natural bodybuilder, and they're just on tons of shit. But for someone who hasn't used stuff, like there are people who are much stronger than me. There are people who are much leaner than me. There are people with much more lean mass than me. It doesn't, I really almost always take those accusations as compliments.
Yeah, right.
Because they never, like, steroid accusations never come face to face, or even like they come from the Twitter with the egg. They never come from like a real human being. People who are reasonably smart understand how much lean mass you can develop naturally. And it's where you build your muscle. Like when a guy gets on his first cycle, his shoulders blow up and his upper traps blow up. So you can see, like, I don't know, I'm kind of blanking on anyone, but someone who's not on stuff, like their shoulders are going to look small relative to the size of their chest. Their shoulders are going to look small relative to the size of their arms. They just don't look like big, but also like their skin is like paper. They're so lean that's kind of the feel. I don't know. Steroid accusations don't really bother me, but I still felt the need to say all that.
Yeah, talk about him. I mean, I don't know. I find the topic interesting, obviously, and I watch a lot of sports. It's something I always think about too, and I don't know, it's a fascinating kind of thing out there. And you mentioned earlier that you're kind of getting back to your own fitness. You're getting back to your own workouts. Is that kind of focus? What do you kind of have planned here for these next couple months? You've also mentioned working with Gary Vee. You're living in New York City. New York City's starting to get warm. I think it still might be snowing. I don't know how that's possible, but obviously New York City, great place to be, especially when you're a successful young man like yourself. How do you kind of view these next few months of your life going with yourself?
I'm excited. I'm excited, man. I mean, I'm really excited about this bet. So I don't know that I'll be here the whole time. If I'm needed out in Western Canada, I'll be out there. But I'm excited to start making more, better content. I'm excited to get into boxing more. I mean, we've talked about like girl stuff. I go through phases of like strict work, and then like spend 2 hours a night swiping and like going on multiple dates a week, and sinking like 10 to 12 hours a week of my life into dating and that stuff. So I might hit a patch of that at some point. Who knows? Yeah.
Can we tell a story here?
Yeah, we can tell a story. 1 second. Another thing, I've been having like daily conversations with my developer. I should have actually plugged the app harder, because in the next 2 to 3 months, I plan on adding a lot to it that makes it a lot better. So
that's where I know. That's where I was taking you, Mike. I was taking you there with the way
I don't know. I'm hesitant to plug stuff. It just isn't in my nature.
I know. That's why I did most of it for you. Do you have to go to the bathroom or something, or what do you have to do?
Huh?
Oh, you said hold on a second. I thought you were like had to go to the bathroom or something.
Hold on a sec on the story. And now I'm slightly nervous about what story you're gonna tell. But yeah,
no, I'm not gonna tell the story before I tell you what the story is, and then I'm gonna have you let me know if I should continue on with the story.
Okay.
This is actually one of the craziest things anyone's ever told me. It was from Mike about a story of a woman that he met from an online dating app. Do you remember what I was talking about, Mike? Because this story, I've actually never heard this story from anyone close since you told me about this. And I've asked a few people what they would have done in that spot too. Do you know which story I'm talking about?
Yeah. Let's just roll with it.
All right, let's roll with it. Okay. So one day, right, I'm sitting there in my place. I can't remember what I was doing. Maybe I'm walking through, I'm pacing, I'm questioning my life. I get a text from Mike, and we start chatting. He tells me about a girl he met. And then he starts talking about a knife and kind of this crazy shit that she likes. And then I'm like, oh wow, okay. So Mike, what happened there? What was that? What happened with this girl?
Hang on. The knife wasn't me.
Oh no, oh my god.
The knife was you.
No,
that's a good story.
Never mind. Let's move on. I forgot about that. Oh my god.
Yo, come on. Let's
hear it. My god.
My story. I had a girl.
You're right. It was the opposite one. You're right. Oh my god. You're right. Oh my. Let's tell your story. I'm not getting that. No, I'm not telling that story. I'm not telling the story. I'm not. It's crazy. It's out of line. All right, your story was different for sure. It was much more PG than the knife one.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, yes, more, but it wasn't PG. At least to me. Like I had this girl who I went on. So I was single. I wasn't really dating. I didn't have anything going on with any other women, and I met this girl off Bumble. And we went on a first date, and nothing happened. And I got this line I was using at the time where I tell the woman that I'm not going to kiss her on the first date. And but really, I wasn't kissing on first dates. I was trying to really meet someone at the time. And we got ice cream, whatever. It was great. Have a good night. Second date, we hung out. I might have taken her to a yoga class or something silly like that, and standard end of date, make out, whatever. Third date, she comes over, we have dinner, we're hooking up, and she it's no, this isn't happening. It's all right, but I can't believe this is going on the internet. So we weren't clothes were on, we weren't taking it past some boob grabbing and kissing, and yeah. she wanted to be not just choked, but choked and hit. She wanted to hit her in the face, but I was no, I'm not gonna hit you in the face. And that's what she wanted. She's I want you to bruise me. I was but keep in mind, there was no, we had our clothes on. So there was no sex being had. There was none of this. And I was just all right, this is too weird. I didn't say that to her. I was all right, I'm kind of tired. Have a good night. And then I hit you up, and I was yo, this girl, she wasn't trying to really hook up, but she wanted me to, can't believe this is live on the internet, but she wanted me to hit her. I was have you ever had anything happen like that? And you're dude, let me tell you. So the end of my story is that it just things fizzled out, and I never saw her again.
She's you want to hit me in the face? I'm gonna go home. I gotta work out tomorrow. I gotta message back to people on Instagram here.
But yeah, exactly.
Listen, I'm gonna say no too, and so here's the knife story, guys. Let me tell the knife story, and it might have been a scam. That's true. It was a trap. This is what I'm saying. When he told me this, I was bro, something like this just happened to me, and let me tell you what happened. So I met a.
There is BDSM, and there is I haven't taken part in the real stuff, but there is a proper and professional way to do stuff like that. But that wasn't it. But all right, go.
Right? No, someone said she's trying to extort you. I'm telling you, I was getting when he was telling me, I'm dude, I think this is a setup for something. She might have hung out with you one time, two times. She kind of felt you out. She obviously saw what you're doing online or saw whatever, woo woo, and then. I don't know, man. I got a very weird vibe from that whole entire, because I remember you were still saying I like her, she's cool, but should I hang out with her? I was
yeah.
I mean, in New York City, bro, we got 25 million people out there in the entire world, but blackmail, I'm sure, man, that's that's actually fucking crazy what happened there, because that was in person in life. That's I don't know. Okay, so so this girl I met, I can't remember where maybe it was through the podcast. I don't really know, but we were chatting a little bit. She lives out in LA. Shout out to LA, and lives out in Los Angeles. And she's talking about wanting to hang out. I think it was maybe through live. I can't really quite remember which platform it was. And then we started talking about things. And then she's yeah, I want you to fucking beat the shit out of me to the point where I'm almost dead, and then fucking take a knife out on me and put a knife at my throat while you're fucking. I'm what? I'm what are you? I'm what? What? Can you repeat that? Yeah. She's no. She's yeah, no. I want to be beaten to the point where I'm unconscious, and I'm are you fucking kidding me, right? Like, cause I never heard anything like this in my entire life, ever, never, and still have not heard anything like this. Talking about a knife, and then I stopped talking, and then she kept messaging me. She started messaging other people that I knew. I was like, yo, what is going on? And then you told me that. I'm like, what is going on out here, man? These people are. And listen, if you're a guy out there and you want to get beat, whatever, that's cool. But like, I'm out. And I never did meet her. I never actually hung out with her. I'll find out her name if you guys want to know, and you guys can stay away from her. You can hit her up. I don't know, whatever it is that you want to do, but yeah, I don't know, man. These girls out here are crazy, Mike.
Yo, and I'm not even gonna take the girls are crazy line. I'm gonna take the humans are crazy, and like I'm sure like in the inverse, like really weird stuff has happened. But yeah, you just got, especially in this day and age, you just got to be careful.
I think you do got. I think that's the big thing, especially. I mean, I don't know. Luckily, I don't know if have you ever ran into trouble with anything where any sort of you had something happen and then something came up, because you know I haven't really seen anything like that happen yet.
No, I've been lucky, but yeah.
I don't know, man. I guess what's kind of your take on the whole idea of staying single and focusing on your career, focusing on your work, focusing on your content, focusing on your business, versus potentially finding a mate and then trying to have that all intersect together? Because I feel like I could see you with someone who was also very heavy into fitness, maybe someone that was into content. I could see someone like that, you and her kind of having similar goals and ambitions in life, really gelling together very well.
I haven't gone that route. So I've been putting content on the internet for 5 years and done it pretty like I don't hold a lot back in general. And the women I've dated, and I've had a couple girlfriends over that time period, none of them have been like put content out for business purpose or had a personal brand or been like kind of that mindset. Mm-hmm. So that is interesting though, like having someone who's also hustling, working super hard in a similar field, like doing similar things.
Yeah, I think like a lot of women you see on Instagram, whether they're influencers or I know a lot of them are in Los Angeles or New York City. You're based in New York City. I think a lot of the ones I know of through friends or friends of friends are all in LA. And it just seems like kind of that's becoming more of an actual viable option for people out there, is to create content on Instagram, be an Instagram influencer, combine that with potentially YouTube, and you kind of have the two work together in some sort of harmonious fashion. And obviously Instagram models in general are now an actual thing that people are doing. So, you know, it's not quite like it was before years ago when that wasn't an option to meet someone like that. And I feel like there's men and women equally doing that. And there's going to be more and more getting into that because it is such a viable option where you have the lifestyle freedom and you have the creative freedom to be able to do things like that. So it's kind of a fascinating time to be in right now and kind of see what's happening with content out there in general.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, influencer, it's funny because the money seems to be behind it actually happening. Like I thought influencer stuff was big 2 or 3 years ago, but one of my good buddies who works at a hedge fund in Greenwich is like, influencers is where all the corporate marketing budgets are going. Like they're spending so much more quarter over quarter, year over year on this influencer stuff. And it's like, I thought influencer stuff was dead. I thought people knew that like a really attractive girl with 500K on Instagram and all of her pictures are like her body and she throws like a fit tee up there. Like I thought people knew that wasn't great ROI, but yeah, who knows?
Yeah, I feel like kind of, you know, speaking on that stuff. And by the way, guys, this is kind of what I work on the most these days. It's just the idea of content marketing, of building up social media platforms and kind of creating content that people engage with, and whether it's on all platforms, something I spend a lot of time studying instead of Monomaha or poker, which I spend a lot of time doing that. But yeah, I think that if you are someone who's creative and you're going to have a company and you're going to want to market that product, I think that working with influencers who have very hardcore audiences who trust them, respect them, and engage with them, I feel like if you can come up with a good way to do that, that is not simply sticking a advertisement on there, check out this tea or check out this knives or some bullshit like that, whatever it is. Well, I think that is a really good approach.
If it's authentic, it's amazing.
Right.
I just think a lot of people struggle to balance that authenticity with, oh, but if you promote this, you can get this much. I don't know. That's part of why I don't do a ton of it, is I don't even trust myself to be super objective with that stuff. Like if if supplement company A was like, promote our stuff, we'll give you this, and supplement company B was like, we'll give you double that amount of money, but I actually liked supplement company A a little bit more, but supplement company B was pretty good too. Like, I don't know. I haven't gone that route because I don't trust myself, I guess.
So do you think that you would work with something that you didn't believe in, or what kind of aspect of that then?
Yeah, I'm afraid that I would do that.
Mm-hmm.
That I would like find a way to rationalize it in my mind.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this is what's happening kind of in poker in a lot of ways with the poker stars. That's, you know, that's sort of what they're doing. That's what they're have this company. They have this sort of, their budget is who knows what their marketing budget is, but a lot of it is going to people that stream on Twitch, actually probably going to the celebrities, the famous people. But the Twitch streamers and what they're doing with the Twitch streamers, let's say they're an Instagram model or Twitch streamer, whatever, it's kind of similar thing. They have these very hardcore, loyal, engaged audience who love them as streamers, love watching them, respect them, listen to them. And then Poker Stars, as the company, is leveraging these streamers' audiences and these streamers' good name and these streamers' respect that they have from the people that watch them into driving those people onto Poker Stars. And whereas being on a Poker Stars player used to be this grand thing of like, this is fucking awesome. Whereas now it's like, you know, they're not really for the player, they're for casino style games. So, you know, they're kind of leveraging the old Poker Stars brand, all of that goodwill they built up. They've said this, by the way, guys. I'm not saying this myself. They've said this themselves on numerous occasions in multiple different kind of materials out there on the internet if you go look around. So that's kind of where you see happening, and just in poker specifically. And I mean, it's fucking genius. It makes sense if you do it right in the right context. It could be very successful for the business. So I would imagine with Instagram and YouTube only getting bigger and bigger, we're going to see more and more and more of that type of stuff here in the future.
Yeah, yeah, it's attention. It's attention, and I think depth of relationship with the content creator.
Do you think that the idea of the mainstream sort of like celebrity movie stars, like those sort of thing, is going to shift over these next few years as more people actually become legitimately famous on some level through YouTube or through Instagram, Twitter, those type of things?
I think it already has, depending on what demographic you're talking about. Like, I think a 10-year-old thinks Logan Paul or whoever, like plug in someone else's name, plug in like a big Twitch person, plug in a different vlogger, thinks that person is more famous than, I don't know, Rihanna or like someone who's like real A-list.
Right. Yeah, I think that I'm surprised there's not more mainstream kind of celebrities that do that kind of Will Smith started doing all YouTube vlogs, very high quality. He's obviously an entertainer. He's crushing Instagram. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of the mainstream traditional people that are actors or actresses or Disney stars or whatever that capitalize on that, because yeah, you have all these people that are building up all this stuff by acting kind of crazy and doing whatever. And it's like, I don't know. It's a very weird world. And I know you're kind of have an off and on relationship with Instagram and with content and with that sort of thing. And, you know, where do you kind of sit with yourself and with your approach to building up a platform or building up a recognition or a brand on those things?
I struggle, man. I struggle. So that me not posting a lot on Instagram for periods of time or just not liking it in general is because I think Mark Zuckerberg is so good, and I think their team is so good at understanding human behavior and psychology and maximizing the addictiveness and time spent on these apps. Like, I think they're better at making their apps addictive to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I am at having the self-control to not spend 3 hours looking at whatever, like poker videos and whatever else is in my Explore tab, food comparisons and jacked dudes and girls and whatever else. So my reasoning for not loving Instagram was for a consumption reason, not for creating on the platform.
Yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense. And it's something I've been noticing myself, trying to spend less time on my phone. I'm convinced they put some poison in the phone where they just like, you just on there for hours and hours and hours with whether it's even just using the web browser or anything like that. I feel like that's a really good approach, especially if you have so much going on. And did you find that increased your productivity and in terms of your performance in the gym or with your customers? Or how did you find that sort of having that little sabbatical worked out for you?
It made me happier because I think I'm susceptible, like anyone else, to seeing what social media mainly is, which is a highlight reel of someone's life, which is like the top 1% of 1% of their experiences, photoshopped and well lit and like with whatever, and they present a specific story, and then you're like, shit, this person are always doing this and this and this, and my life sucks. Like falling into that kind of negative mindset, I think is so easy. So yeah, I think it made me happier. I think just having real intent with these platforms and discipline with these platforms is important. Mm-hmm. And that can be, my intent is to be creating content that teaches people about X, Y, and Z. And like, that's why I use Instagram or Snapchat or YouTube or whatever, or intent around consumption. So I want to follow this person and this person and this person because I derive this benefit from following these people. I think those are good reasons to use the platform. It's when I end up in the Explore tab and I was supposed to go to bed at 11 o'clock and it's 4 a.m. and somehow I'm still on Instagram and I'm in the DMs and I'm like doing whatever and looking at just random shit that isn't adding value to my life. Like that's where it's having a negative impact on me. And for anyone who can relate, I downloaded an app called, if you Google just screen time, Moment, I think is the name of it, but it's free and it logs how much time you're spending on your phone and how much time you're spending doing different things on your phone. Like that's been mildly helpful, just for being able to be honest with yourself about how you're using your time. Because I've had days where this popped up and it was like, you were on your phone for 14 hours and 7 minutes today.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah. And I think some of that is like I was listening to music on YouTube or whatever, but like usually it's like 7 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. So like, okay, what did I actually do that I wanted to do on my phone in that window, and could I have done that in 90 minutes?
What are you thinking, prop bet? You thinking a prop bet between me and you here on this with this Moment app, kid? I'm all in. I'm all in on a prop bet that limits our time we spend on our phone for sure. Because I think that would, I've noticed I've been putting it away. I'm like, I take my phone, I'm like throwing it. I'm telling Sasha, like, yell at me. I want to break my fucking phone because I didn't use a phone for like 5 months when I did one of my prop bets, and very good time of my life. I crushed it. Actually, you know what, Mike? That was when I went up. Wow, that's actually crazy how much success coincided with not using my phone during that time period. But
other things happen too.
Oh, well, I mean, I was crushing in general. I was living in Vancouver at the time. I remember 1 month I had to do this. I had to play like, I don't know, I think it was like 700,000 hands of PLO or 750K hands of PLO in 2 months. So I got rid of my phone. I was like, this is too distracting. I'm talking with too many people. And then I didn't get it back until maybe the next year in like February or something like that. After I stopped, I won the prop bet. I started playing a lot higher stakes and less tables, stopped 24 tabling, was just crushing every direction. And then I was like, oh, now I can let the phone back in my life. And I don't know, man. It's, good and bad. I feel like I just.
The thing is, it's not even not using it. Like that's not the metric I want, is not using it at all or using it minimally. The metric I want is using it for specific things. Mm-hmm. It should be engaging one-on-one with people in my community and creating good content.
Well, I wish there was an app that fucking measured that, because that's what I want to use it too for as well. And then you end up like down a road where
I'll make you want to prop bet a content creation prop bet. Like we could lay out metrics of this many YouTube videos per week or month or whatever, this many Instagram posts, this many, like whatever it is. I mean, it could be, let's do it.
For sure. For 100%. We'll definitely figure out some specifics behind this, of course. I mean, I made these like self prop bets with doing 2 podcasts a week, with doing my workout prop bet I have, my workout physical activity bet every day. Turns out those were the best ideas I've come up with this year, because now I'm crushing both. And I'm like, oh, interesting. Sure, it's sad maybe that I need to make these bets to be able to do these things. Why don't I do them in the first place? But it's a reality of the situation. I'm going to embrace it for right now until I figure out till I get the therapist and then he knocks in my head and
get it. I don't know. I think I'm a fan of doing what it takes to motivate your future self to accomplish things that you want to accomplish. Like I get if you really know your why, then work shouldn't even feel like work because it just flows from here. And it's like, I really wish I could do that, but that is never, that hasn't come to me, or has come to me very rarely in my life.
Yeah, I see a comment up here about kind of mentioning back about, we were talking about the PokerStars guys, and they mentioned I want to find the exact comment. And like Jamie said, does anyone actually blame the Twitch guys? Like Jamie mentioning with the Twitch streamers on PokerStars. Sure, I sure don't. They make a living. It's just a business. And then IMO, someone said, Conrad, not everyone is super rich like Polk, and the income from stars or whatever is a big deal for them. So they kind of need to keep their mouths shut now. And I want to say I 100% agree with that, which is why I'm not someone out there that's going to call anyone out. Like, I get it, man. You got to, like, PokerStars paying these guys a lot of money, or they're helping them out. They're helping to enhance their brand. Like, I don't fault any of these guys out there for working with stars. I really don't. Okay. It's sure a perfect world, right? But at the same time, I know a lot of these guys. I really like a lot of people that are associated with PokerStars. I think they're some of my favorite people in poker world. And I'm never going to really I'm not going to go after these guys for that sort of thing like that. So I get both sides of it too. It's just an unfortunate situation, how I see things. So, yeah, man, make the money while you can. Nonstop said, what's your relationship with Jordan Peterson, Mike? You got a relationship with Jordan Peterson?
I don't think we can call it a relationship. I think if I walked by him on the street, there's a 40% chance he would recognize me.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, well, so I went out, I saw, for people who don't, do we need to, have you talked about him on the pod, or?
I have not. I just started watching him after I go to the store here down the street with the edible store. I take some edible, I'll take an edible. I watch Jordan Peterson videos on YouTube. I love them. They're good. They're really fun. He's like, he's speaking to me a little bit sometimes.
I'm a huge fan of him, of his Maps of Meaning lectures on YouTube, of his Bible lecture series, which he did on his podcast and on YouTube. It's like 13 or 14 3-hour talks on the psychological significance of the Bible. He's a Canadian psychology professor who plays like a self-help dad of the internet role, and became well known largely in part to a controversy around him not saying gender neutral pronouns, which were kind of being mandated by the government for people in certain areas to say. So he blew up on that and gets a lot of like political controversy because of that, which is something I love him. Like, he's the man. I unfollowed his Twitter because for a while it was just, there was a lot of negativity there, and I'm like, I don't need to see this. Like, I love the videos, but I don't need to see this. But yeah, I went out and I saw him speak when I was in LA. I jumped up to Seattle, and it was a small conference, so I got to talk to him for 10 minutes after the talk, and then I donate on his Patreon. So I had a Skype call with him recently. But yeah, he's the man. He's helped me a ton. I did a book review for his new book on my YouTube channel a month back. But I'm actually interested to hear what videos you like most, or what resonate most with you, bro.
I think the favorite one I've watched, because I watch sort of like some of his stuff with the Bible, and I don't really understand it, to be honest with you. I feel like when you're in your little high and you watch that, it takes a different meaning. So I feel like you hear these things and you're like, oh, what is this guy saying right now? I mean, I don't really know if it's sort of this wild thing. He talks about cleaning up your the room, clean up your room thing. I think it's a popular one, but just kind of the clean up your room, cleaning up your mind, cleaning up the life around you. If you can't. And one big thing he talked about was, he said in one of his talks in the classroom, which I found a lot of his talks from these small classrooms, it seems like, he talked about not having a plan or routine. And I've always been that way. Like, I don't want to plan. I don't want to schedule. I don't want that. But he's like, well, if you don't have a schedule, then if you want to live that way, well, then you still have a schedule. It's just your schedule is no schedule. And if you actually want to get a lot of things done, or get things done that you want to do with your life, you need to have some sort of routine. You need to have some sort of system. And a lot of times, if you look at your life and you look at where your life's at, and if your life's all out of sorts and you feel like you're struggling and not reaching your potential, a lot of times it's going to go back to keeping your place clean, keeping your mind clean, keeping the things that you bring into your life and bring into your mind clean. And then having a schedule, having a system, have something you do. And I'm like, man, yeah, it's a really great fucking point over here, Jordan Peterson. It's definitely two things that are holding me back personally in a lot of different ways. So those are certainly some of the things I feel like that resonated the most with me, and just the whole entire schedule plan thing. Cause he like said that, and I was like, oh, that's me. I never wanted to have a schedule or a plan or a routine, but instead of looking at it in such a negative way, you actually can look at it in a positive way. And yeah, that was probably one of my favorite parts.
Absolutely. Have you been able to develop more of a routine?
You know, I'm aspiring to have more of a routine, Mike. It's getting there.
You know what? The first thing you can do is that I struggled with recently myself, but have been fairly dialed in for a few weeks, is making yourself wake up at the same time every single day.
Ooh, that sounds like a dream right there. I don't know. Yeah, it's
I mean, if your sleep schedule's all messed up, then it's hell for a few days, right? But say the time is 9 a.m. or whatever it is. Like maybe you're up super late. I see you making Instagram stories late at night, but like one night you only get 3 or 4 hours of sleep and you're like, this day is going to be so brutal. But then if you have to get up at 9 a.m. the next day, like you're going to be tired, you're going to fall asleep earlier, you get up at the same time. Like that's something that for me kind of was an initial thing that I've done. And then I've fallen off and like gone a month where my sleep schedule is completely screwed and then gotten back to it.
Yeah, it's been my biggest challenge when I get on, and especially if you have someone that you like who also has a chaotic sleep schedule and you want to spend time with that person. I think ideally it would be something where
Sophia.
What'd you say?
What's her name?
Sasha.
Sasha. My fault, Sasha.
Shout out Sasha. She's in the chat right now. We just sat her on the we did a podcast with her the other day.
Oh, dope. Hey, yeah. Get on your sleep schedule then.
Yeah. Good luck to her.
It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, Nonstop says getting up at the same time seems virtually impossible to me. It seems actually impossible to me to get up. But I've tried. I get there for a couple days, and then what happens is when I'm at night, if I'm working, I just kind of go an extra hour, and then I sleep. It's maybe we need a prop bet out here, guys. I don't know, man. I'm prop betting my whole fucking life away. I don't.
Could you make yourself responsible to like some kind of external accountability, like something you have to get up for in the morning? Because I'm the same way. If I just have to do it because I know it's what's best for me, I'm going to rationalize with myself. Like, oh yeah, well, what's best for me now is 3 more hours of sleep. So like that alarm's going off. But
it's what I say. It's what I say every time, Mike. When I wake up, I'm like, man, boom, kind of hitting the alarm, hitting that sort of thing. But Orwell says, Joey, getting up is level 1 shit. I completely agree with you. And I think what it is for me is that with getting up in poker, that was never needed. I didn't need to get up in poker. And I had so much success with that approach to poker and kind of with the approach to everything I've done. So I think when I'm like, well, do I really need to get up at the same time? Because I've been able to, but it's like, it's sort of this thing where it's been successful with a lot of things I've done. So I don't necessarily feel like I have to do it to have success, but at the same time, it would probably be a lot better overall if I could, if you kind of did it.
When you were dominating in Vancouver, you didn't have any kind of
no.
What's that casino there?
Edgewater. There's Edgewater, and there's I think Red Rock, Down the Rock. I don't know, one of these rocky ones that's a little bit off out of the city. But Edgewater was kind of right by where I lived at in the downtown Vancouver area.
Yeah,
and
you were playing mostly online. I would imagine.
I was only playing online. Yeah, just playing online. And Martin Dam says, but Joey, fields are always much softer, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. than earlier. So staying up late is super GT over poker players. And that is a big reason why you stay up so late, because overnight the games were so damn good all the time. It's like, well,
Sucks. What really sucks about that is that there's actual science to support the fact that a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. sleep schedule versus a 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. like sleeping when the sun is down is actually better for your health. But which I like. I completely understand. The games are softer at night. Like you have to be up late, and you can still have a routine. Like your routine is you're up late. But if you can get to bed while the sun is not in the sky, that'd be optimal.
Yeah, I've done some research on. They talk about like different types of people. Some are night owls. I think there's like specific words. I don't know the specific words. I don't remember them.
What's the name of it? There's a lion. There's a dolphin.
Yeah, it's some stuff like that, right? Where certain people they work better overnight. I'm like, well, I must got to be one of these people that works better overnight. But I don't know how much that's placebo. Even now when I'm creating content, I always start like around 2 a.m. and then I get going. But if I try to start now, I'm like, I don't really fucking want to do it. So it's, I don't know if it's just this mental thing or what exactly it is, but yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, at the same time doesn't mean waking up at 7 a.m. every day either.
Oh. If you're going to wake up at 9, why not just wake up at 7?
Well, I'm just trying to accommodate your grind.
What time are you waking up right now? What's your schedule like?
I'm waking up at like 7/7:30 and getting some emails done. And then I have an in-person client who I'm seeing daily right now, who it's like a consistent time. And it's like that external obligation that if I didn't have that, I likely would sleep in, but I kind of got that in place.
So maybe I need an external, maybe I need like something specific to do each day at a certain time, sort of thing like that. That way I kind of would have to wake up. So for instance, like I did this Monday night live at the bike show for it was at 6 p.m., but it still was like kept me kind of, doing that. And, I couldn't let my life get too out of track because I always had to do that. So kind of something like that where.
Yeah. Get a dog.
I was thinking about a kid, but a dog might be not a bad idea also.
Are you thinking about a kid?
No, I'm not. I'm not thinking about it. It's on the mind, it's on my goal list for the year.
A kid is on your goal list for this year?
Yeah. Also make $1 million at crypto's on the goal list too. So I'm not saying we're going to achieve the fucking goals, but it's on the goal list.
Yeah. I think a kid would make me a way better person. Like, I think it would make me more productive and like, I don't know.
Probably like less distracted by a lot of things that you start to realize in your life. Like don't add much to it.
A father or mother in the chat right now is like, you are an idiot. You don't know how much work this is. Like, I completely get that, but there's something about, I don't know.
I don't know, man. You'd have fun with the kid. I feel like you'd have fun.
Yeah.
Got people in the chat. Let me get some shots. These people in the chat. We got my guy Jack Fleming out there. What up, Big Jack? What's happening, Big Jack? I saw my guy James out there. What did James say? James Rosenthal. He said, "Shout out to Mike making me buy expensive ass Legion whey while I'm his client. $80 protein, killing my wallet gains." What are you doing to my guy James, man? What are you doing to him?
Rosenthal?
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you making him buy? It's $80. What do you think he lives in the city? You think he's?
They're not $80. Maybe about the 5-pound tub. Come on, bro. I don't feel like I get a kickback.
Okay. You sending him broke, huh? You making him buy the expensive stuff, huh?
I don't think it's that expensive.
I think he's probably being a little sarcastic too. But who else we got out here in the chat? Mr. Hitman 420. What up, Big Pop? Hey, Martin Dan. What up, Martin? Charles Dor. What up, Charles? What's happening, brother? Anthony Colavita. I'm so GTO. Matthew Bren. Who else we got out there, man? Peter O'Neill. DMT Matrix. Where'd you get those sweatpants, Joey? I want one. DMT Matrix. You've been saying some weird shit. Luckily, you've been also saying some nice things. So I'm going to let you slide today, brother, my guy. Martin Dam, give Mike a shout out for me. Just started online coaching with him. Been going well so far.
My man's going to be making some gains. I'm pumped.
Let's fucking get it, man. Let's get it. Kristen Mashman. What up, Kristen? What's happening, my young, beautiful friend? What's going on? Andrew out there in the chat. What's up, Andrew? Matthew Vren, Mike V. I appreciate your words, though, man. You are a good dude and help motivate me to get on the health train.
Let's go.
Hey, fucking men out there, man. Nicholas Palmer, what up, Nick? One Matthew J, Big Poppy, what up, Big Poppy? Volcommerce, Big Poppy. We shipped our roll, but we bought back in, baby. I don't know what the fuck that means, but it sounds like you're degenerate, and I love it.
I love it.
Me too. What's up with you in poker, buddy? Are you playing some events this summer? Are you going to be out here? What's your poker? You haven't been playing at all?
I'm as fun gets. I am awful. The game passed me by. I was never good, but yeah, I might play some. I might go out to Vegas in June. I mean,
I love that whole entire process. Like, are you gonna play poker? God, I am fun as shit. The game has passed me. Yeah, but you know what that said? I'm ready to play. I'm ready to get. Okay, I'm like, all right.
Great, like feeling the cards, feeling the chips, being at the table. Like, it's good. I played 2 events in Reno, and I have no history playing tournaments. And I just fired off I was out very early in both of them.
Mm-hmm. Fucking tournaments, man. You're not gonna hear me. You're not gonna hear me advocating for tournaments. Don't worry. I'm not gonna get up here and say play more tournaments. I think you should play cash games, if anything. Do you still have fun playing poker?
Yeah, I do. Although I still tilt, and I still I'm not right up here when it comes to poker. I never played that much live. I think is probably a little bit of the problem. But yeah, I have fun. I have much more fun when I win. Like,
you know, it's crazy. It really is fucking crazy how much more fun you have playing poker when you're winning compared to when you're losing. It's like, and maybe that's why a lot of tournament players are unhappy, is because they lose so often. Whereas if you have a cash game session, you win a cash game session, like you're going to win so much more in your sessions of cash games. So I wonder if there's any sort of correlation between those two things. I've actually, first time I thought about it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, first, Martin says, I got to introduce him to the great game, Joey. So I think you've only played PLO once, and that was with me this summer. Was that the only time you played, or did you play more than that?
I've played some, probably like definitely under 5,000 lifetime hands, probably under like 2,000.
That's a lot, bro. 2,000 hands is a lot about Lemon Omaha, the great game.
I've played some online at some point back in the day. When did I play? I don't remember. I've definitely played a little, though. Luckbox some off you this summer, yeah.
I remember that. That's so fucking sick, man. How bad do I run, man? I'm like, am I the worst of all time? I don't know. I can't beat. Listen, guys, you guys don't understand. I get these games together where Mike doesn't even play. He'll come play. And I can't win. I don't know if I can win in these games. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know. I can't win. I'm going, I don't know, man. Who knows? It is what it is. I don't know. Let's get some questions from the chat out there. Someone keeps talking about you being vegan. And if you're not vegan, I'm banning this motherfucker forever. Are you vegan, Mike?
No, I'm not.
Okay, what is this guy? I know. And
wait, what's the name?
Listen, I don't know. He keeps saying it. Okay, Ryan Cow. He said it 10 times. Normally I ban him. I'm going to let him slide this time. Ask Mike about him being vegan. We don't know what it looks like.
We don't know what that looks like. Wait, who's that from? Ryan
Coates. Coutts. Coates.
Yeah.
Coates.
I consume animal products. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Cool. Simple enough. Sean says, Joey, breaking news. Winning is more fun than losing. Yeah, this definitely is breaking news. Nonstop. I can respect the great game, but I would also like to introduce him to the Cadillac of the game. Heads up, Nolan Hold'em.
Yo, yeah. I love some heads up. I mean, that's the only time I ever actually made money was bum hunting heads up NL.
Oh. I don't know if that's still possible, actually, but unfortunately, I mean, I think it is still possible. It's just like, it's like a waiting game.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there weren't bots and there weren't people who sat at like 20 tables back in the day. It was just like, you had one table of a couple different stakes and, you instantly looked them up on Poker Tables rating when they said,
oh my God.
And then like negative 74 bets per 100. You're like, let's go.
Oh my, you just brought back an epic dude. Okay. So you guys don't know Poker Table ratings. This site was amazing because you could put anyone on there from Full Tilt, Poker Stars, and Ultimate Bet instantly, and it would tell you. So what Mike's talking about is anytime someone would sit, you'd instantly like copy paste their name into
on the other monitor.
Yeah, instantly other monitor, PTR them. If it comes back where it's like cold, you're like, okay, play. And then if it's like kind of close, you're kind of looking through their stakes. You're saying, all right, where are they breaking even at? Where are they winning at? Like, what's their whatever. You kind of look through it, take a deeper look to make sure it's not like an old sample size or whatever. But this was the greatest thing of all time. I PTR'd every single player that I ever played with all the time. I knew everyone's PTR. I knew what everyone was losing the most money at the stakes that they played in terms of regulars, in terms of the fun players. I would color code. I had a 12 color coding system that I went through and fucking put everyone on there. And, it turns out a very successful strategy. And then they took away PTR and it was the saddest state. Mike, I know when it happened. It was May of 2012. They stopped doing PTR. I was almost to the fucking top hat, which I wanted. All I wanted was a top hat. It was $1 million profit on theirs. All I wanted. I didn't even want the fucking money. I just wanted the top hat.
What? They had some random awards too.
Yes, I got some of those too.
Triple check raise award.
The sandbagger one. Yes, it was amazing. They had this triple check raise. They had like some boards where you'd win prizes. You get badges. I fucking wanted all. I got all. I tried to get as many badges as I could and win some of the award stuff. And am I admitting to be a bum hunter? No, I'm not admitting to be a bum hunter. I play a lot of tables. I still PTR everybody. If I have the negative 94 BB per 100 guy at my table, I want him to be to my right, not to my left. Okay? It's common fucking sense, Martin. Let's get it with it, man. Come on. It turns out you want the guy 94 negative BB per 100. Where do you want them at, Mike? You want them to your left? You want them to your right?
You want them to your right.
You want them to your right, exactly. So PTR definitely helped me out. Help me figure that out. Yeah. I missed that site.
My career was over by the time that site went down.
This is sad. I'm crying right now.
I want to play some now. Are you going to be playing? No. You hate tournaments. You're not going to play much this summer?
Probably play cash games in some of the Pop Omaha tournaments. Yeah. Do you want to go play some, get in some live poker playing while you're out here, Michael?
Yeah, maybe like a long weekend and play some cash in one event or something.
Cool. Sounds like a good idea to me. Get in a little bit of working out. Dude, there was one thing you told me last summer when you were here that's been one thing that's stuck with me all the time during my chest and during my back workouts, which is when I'm actually doing the activity, kind of focus. So if it's on chest, I want to focus on sort of like having the motion go through the chest. And then when I'm doing my back, I want to focus on sort of pulling that up from the back. It was something I never really did before, kind of focusing on the muscle in your mind and isolating that in your mind.
Yep.
And that's something I started doing all the time that I got from last time you were here. So that was very, 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 very GTO. I remember these things. I don't know. I remember that thing.
Body trick. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very. What is the science behind that? Like, why is it so? Because I feel like you feel it so much more in that muscle, and it just seems like to me you're just simply doing some sort of mental trick where tell your mind, okay, think about this.
I don't actually know if there is science to it. Like there could be that I just don't know. But intuition of like back in the day, that was stuff that in the 60s and 70s bodybuilders were doing that predated the science that follows. It's just like, okay, when I'm doing a pull down, if I'm just pulling without thinking about any coaching cues, I'm activating more biceps than if I'm doing a lat pull down and I think I'm going to go thumb over the bar, I'm going to go very loose grip, and I'm going to think about squeezing oranges in my armpits as I squeeze my shoulder blades together. You're going to activate more lat and less bicep by like making that mental switch.
That's fucking. I find that crazy. I don't know. I find that crazy. And I think what it noticed for me is that it would help me keep my form a little bit more in line in terms of posture, in terms of breathing, kind of having that all together where, okay, I'm focusing here. Whereas if I wasn't focusing on, like, let's say we're doing some sort of like a dumbbell chest press type workout. Whereas before, if I'm just doing it like this, maybe like I'm feeling it in my trap, maybe I'm feeling it here, I'm feeling it here. It's out of whack. But if I'm kind of focused on feeling it right here, it just feels like it's a lot more tighter. It's a lot more in there. I feel this kind of expanding and contracting right there. So I don't know. It's I don't know that one for me, that's been kind of, I don't know if there was some sort of science behind this or not, but it's just, I feel like for my workouts lately, I'm telling you, I kind of want to get your feedback on if this is GTO or not, because I kind of went back to something I used to do back in the day, which is I'm kind of keeping it simple with my workouts. When I go to the gym, I'm keeping my reps really lower. I'm trying to do 6 reps per set and 3 to 4 sets per workout. And for my kind of bicep tricep workout, it's just very simple stuff with dumbbell curls and kind of hammer curls. Like I think that you were one of the people that showed me those, and I kind of mix in hammer curls, mix in regular, and then you have the have barbell curls that I do those as well too, and then have something on the the extension kind of thing where you pull that like that. It's isolated, kind of standing up. And I've kind of just been doing the same workouts each time I go do my workouts. I'm not really mixing in something new. I'm not really switching it up, but I've noticed, and this is something I used to do when I was a kid, but I noticed like anytime I do that and I keep the reps low, my strength goes really up, my gains go really, really up. And it just seems like I notice everywhere in terms of strength and in terms of even the way I look, but it doesn't seem like that's the way a trainer would kind of teach you how to do it.
Okay. Give me 60 seconds. I'm running to the bathroom and then I'm going to reply to that.
All right, Mike's PM. We'll give some shout outs. Let's give some more shout outs. Who else we got out here? Kristen Meshman. Oh, that's a question for Mike. Who else we got? Slim Perkins. Nice, Joey. You hammer curls are all day for your, you hammer girls all day for your workout. I think Mike said that hammer curls are for the girls. Makes sense for sure. 7-4 Zion, where attention goes, energy flows. Yeah, it certainly makes a lot of sense. Certainly makes a lot of sense. Paul Borgen in the chat. What up, Big Paul? What up, Paul? Paul Borgen. Big Paul. I got nothing. Scott Headley, I just bought 2 of your GTO sleeveless tees. Listen, guys, the items I have up right now on my Teespring in the store, these are going to be collector items. When I turn the clothing line to something really special where it's fucking the Nike of poker, you know, it might not, but who knows? But so we all got dreams, right? You're going to look back and you're like, man, I really wish I bought the #1 original with Eat Sleep Omaha GTO's Way Life. I really wish I bought those because these are going to be fucking collector's items. And one day they're going to be worth thousands of dollars because they're going to be so rare to have them from back in the day in 2018. I'm telling you right now. All right. I'm telling you right now, that'll be the case. And if it doesn't happen, well, then it fucking doesn't happen. But I'm confident it'll happen. I'm confident it'll happen one day. Are we going to do a shirt giveaway? We are not. Yes, we are going to do a shirt giveaway for sure. Legend Poppy, did you and the Vietnamese MILF? She's not Vietnamese MILF. What are you talking about, bro? What? What's up, Poppy? GTO hoodie. Thank you. Martin says, big game going on at Party Poker at the moment. Trick It, Fedor, Isildur, Leon in the mix. I will be streaming that game a little bit later, actually. Me and Sasha are going to do that. We're gonna watch some of that. So, Joey, can you sign my GTO's Way Life hoodie? Okay. Sure, I guess so. But yeah, Mike, you're back from the bathroom.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Something interesting you said was, you said, I haven't been switching it up. I've just been doing the same exercises. And you said it as if that was wrong. One of the most common mistakes that people make is they change their workout in some way too frequently. So it's hard to measure progress, any kind of progress, if you're consistently mixing up which exercises you're doing on a workout to workout basis, on a week to week basis, by continuing to do the same movements. And I hope / kind of assume you're trying to progress on those moves in some way. I mean,
yes.
Increase weight, you can. If you can do one more rep than the last week, but you can't increase weight, like you'll add 1 rep. That's how progress is made. Like that's how strength progress is made. That's kind of how muscle gain progress is made. But being in, like, I like varying rep ranges, usually within a workout, but sometimes from workout to workout. But if I had to pick, like, you can only do low reps, and you said low is in between 4 and 6%, but like,
like around 4 to 6.
Yeah. I would much rather you doing, if you could only do low or high, I would rather you be doing low reps. It's more efficient. You're more likely to increase strength, and you want to work in different movements sometimes, because switching your grip on a pull-up after 4 or 6 weeks, or switching the incline on a bench after 4 or 6 weeks is going to reduce wear and tear on the joint. So it's the same movement pattern. You're working the same muscles, but by eventually making a slight modification, that's going to be GTO. But from workout to workout and from week to week, you want to be doing the same movements and trying to progress on those movements in some way, and writing down what you're doing, writing down how much weight you're using, writing down the sets and reps. And then when you do that workout the next week, look back. All right, I did this for 3 sets of 6. I used 40-pound dumbbells. I have a note that this was actually pretty easy. So I'm either going to go up to 45-pound dumbbells, or I'm going to go for 3x7 instead of 3x6.
Yeah, it's actually something that I got from a guy I follow on Twitter about. He talked about how he kind of does the same workouts and then he just tracks his progress. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Let me try that too. Because I have noticed it's a lot easier to see, okay, am I making progress? Is this working? What is my goal? Well, my goal is to keep increasing my weight. So it's a very easy way to track that when you're doing the same things over and over again. And I like that too, of idea of kind of throwing in a different grip or throwing in a different workout or kind of mixing it up. I like to do that with my bicep workout routines, because like I said, you know, maybe the hammer curls are default, but then sometimes you might go a little bit wider, sometimes you might go in more too, and kind of just mix it up like that. That's been something I've been trying to do, and I don't know why I do these things I do. I guess, how do you track it? How do you know if they work? Well, you know, what's your metric? For me, it's just strength. It's getting stronger. It's looking stronger, and those two seem to work. So
I mean, those are 2 very good ones that aren't that hard to track. If you wanted to be very specific, you could track scale weight, you could track arm measurement, leg measurement, like circumference, waist circumference, but how your clothes feel, how you look in the mirror over a longer period of time, right? Like you're not going to look night and day after a week and a half of working out, but and strength, and like how you feel in your gym sessions, your work capacity, your endurance, those are all forms of progress that you can measure pretty easily. So
what's your main goals right here coming up, kid? 1 month from now, what do you want to have have accomplished, have better than it is right now? Where do you stand with your things right now?
I'm gonna go back to Jordan Peterson, and the concepts that I like most about that come from him are those that defeat the nihilistic, negative, pessimistic, cynical parts of me that like I recognize, and like these mindsets that I can slip into, and they're defeated by meaning and by working hard to have some kind of meaningful impact on other people, on community, on myself, on my family, on my friends, on the world, on clients, like anything. And so in the next month, this isn't super tangible, and I'm fine to spitball and try and think of something better, but I really want to try to just be a little bit better every single day. Because if you work hard at doing something meaningful every day, and then the next day you do even like 1/100th of 1% better than the day before, over time, if you can consistently build on that, you become so much more, and the sum of what you do and your impact is what your life ends up being. So that's where my head's at for this next month.
I guess it's hard to track. It is hard to be like, okay, well, how do I know I was 1% better? Is this something where I'm gonna lie to myself, or is this something I was better here? And then that's I would feel like that'd be the challenge for some people out there.
Oh, absolutely. Tracking that, like, yes. And I don't know that that you can be exact with it, but I don't know. I've found a lot of usefulness in trying to listen to my conscience and trying to ask myself, what should I be doing right now? And am I doing what I should be doing right now? And really listening to like whatever response, like whether that's me or whether that's like something else, like listening to whatever bubbles up from that question, because sometimes it's like, no, don't go jerk off right now. Like instead you have 7 more emails that you know you need to respond to, like go do that. Like, no, don't eat that. I know that you can go have that super high fat, high whatever thing that fits your macros, but you haven't eaten a vegetable in 36 hours. So go have an actual healthy meal. Like listening to that, it's my conscience. Yeah, that's also not trackable. I'm fine with having a content prop bet with you. That's what we should do for the next month. Pump out 3 YouTube videos a week, daily Instagram posts, a blog post every 2 weeks. Like I'm absolutely down to do that.
And then the thing I've noticed with these prop bets is like you can just say the prop bets and they're like, why are people doing this? They're like, I got a prop bet. You're like, oh, I support the prop bet. It's like, okay, you know, it's like, oh, content prop bet. I gotta post this today.
Yeah.
Why are you posting so much? I have to. I'm gonna lose my leg if I don't post every day. My friend Mike's gonna chop my fucking leg off next time he sees me, you know? So it's like, yeah. Someone says a no fat prop bet. I've definitely done it before. It was one of the best things in my entire life. I'm sure I could do it now, but I actually have an opposite. I have a masturbation prop that I've never talked about yet.
Wait. Oh, no fap. Yeah, I'm down to do something related to that. The thing is, do you want to talk about it right now?
Yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit. Okay, so I have a bet right now where you know, let's not ask the specifics of it how, but the moral of the story, this is crazy. Mike, this one's crazy. Okay. I'm curious what you think you do this one, because I told you about this one yet. It's you have to masturbate 24 times in 24 hours. You have to get yourself off 24 times in 24 hours.
That's the opposite of no fap, that's for sure.
Exactly. Very much the opposite, yes.
No, it's impossible.
Hmm.
You have this bet booked?
This bet is booked for thousands of dollars right now, yes.
And you have to do it? When are you doing it?
What?
Are you practicing?
Yes. I am. What do you want me to say? I am. I'm practicing. How do you audit the bet? That's true. We're still figuring that out. We're not sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. To me, that seems impossible.
I think it'll be one of the easiest bets I've ever done.
You have to get a nut 24 times in a day.
Yes. In 24 hours, Mike, not in a day, 24 hours.
Yeah, right. Is it 1 per hour, or is it just like?
I think for the plan of attack would be you lay out a couple, like I think feel for, so I've researched a ton this, and it was for when I researched the NoFap one, I researched like why, what it is, whatever, and it's so mental that for me it's literally all in my head. I don't even need, I won't need anything too. It's all in my mind. Yeah.
Well, who do you have this booked with?
My daily fantasy sports friends. The ones I made my book prop bet with. I think I have the Mandarin prop bet with them. And yeah, that's who I have the bet with. It's for $6,900.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I get it. That's crazy. I mean, if you think if it's plus EV for you, like good for you on printing money. But
I've been training for this motherfucker since I was 14 years old, Mike. I'm ready to get paid.
That's nuts.
I've been training. Am I going to live stream it? We might live stream this on Chatterbait. I don't know. Maybe we just keep my.
Or can you like have her?
No. She went. No one can help me.
Got it.
Physically there. Maybe sure, whatever, like audibly potentially, or text, photo, video, whatever. That, yeah, but not actually.
Dude, I think you're gonna be in so much pain at like hour 14.
Mm-hmm. So here's why I'm so confident I can do this, Mike. So if anyone that, I mean, this is where I should not be. I've never even talked about this yet, but I want to talk about it now because I find it interesting, and I know that I think this is something you'd find interesting too. Just the idea of like, oh, the fuck, kind of crazy idea. So I think because if you take any sort of Adderall or anything like that for ADHD, any sort of meth, like ecstasy, those sorts of things, they're in the same ballpark. It's always a lot harder to achieve that sort of orgasm. So it takes, you have to really focus like mentally extra harder to be able to get to that point. So when you aren't taking it, your ability to orgasm is infinitely easier if you can get to a point where you can do it fairly easy on these other sorts of things. So when your mind is clear and it's not nothing, it's literally like 75% easier. So
is this bet 1-to-1?
What do you say?
1-to-1?
1-to-1. Yeah. I was so confident I could do it. I couldn't believe they were betting me this.
What's the most you've ever done?
I don't know.
Guess.
A lot. Practice a lot. I mean, I don't know. Who knows, man? 10. Who knows, man? I don't know. 10, 11. Who knows?
Yeah, if you've done 20 before, it's like, oh, but like that's insane. Good luck.
Thank you.
When are you doing it?
I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
Got it.
I'm not sure. I'm ready to. I honestly, I couldn't believe. I was like shocked. I wanted to book it fast enough, and Sasha said like, you shouldn't do it. I said, oh, like, I don't care. I'm gonna do it. So. But yeah, that's the current prop bet I have. So I'm more than happy to add in this prop bet with you too, because it's kind of similar, but not really similar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
it's kind of similar, but not really similar. Kevin Smith says, hey, Joey, first time I have caught you live. Love your stuff. Can I get a shout out, bud? You turned in for a weird ass moment, Kevin. I got to be honest with you, buddy. All right. It's Poker Life podcast. Poker Life. This is life. There's all sorts of things out there. So Mike, if people want to, what should they check for? What do you want to send them to? The Mike Macros app. You got the website. Where would you send them to right now if they want to check out more of your stuff?
If they kind of just want to hang and say what's up, either Twitter or Instagram are the two places. Both are my name. If they want fitness information, my website ontheregimen.com or my YouTube channel, which is my name, has a lot of videos there.
Simple enough. If you're out there, I would definitely advise checking out the Beginner's Fitness Guide, which is sick. I still read it now. It is really great stuff. And yeah, I mean, check out the Twitter, Instagram. I mean, you've been doing a little bit more Instagram. You haven't been doing too much on the IG streets until right now, until we figure out the bet. Dude, that's gonna be super good for me too, by the way, because I just like some days I take off, but now my buddy Doug switched up his strategy on there too, so he's kind of been invigorating me a little bit more to be more consistent with just IG. It's just good for business overall. So, but I don't want to spend too much time on there. So
yeah, create, and I mean you can time block it too, right? Like I'm going to be posting around this time. I'll reply to comments and DMs here, and then it's like I'm not on Instagram for the rest of the day.
Yeah. It's a good idea. Guys, we'll take one more question from the chat in here. And after that, you got to send Mike a message. Slide in his DMs. If you're a woman and you want to go on a date with him, let him know. If you're a man and you want to go on a date with him, let him know. If you're a woman or a man, you got a fitness question, diet, nutrition question, let him know. And I don't want to hear no weird stories about none of y'all asking him to beat you or anything like that, okay? I don't want Mike texting me saying, dude, this guy from the podcast, Jerry, messaged me, said I'm in New York City. Can you choke me out next time you're with me? Okay, I don't want to hear anything. Please don't send him no shit like that, okay? Fuck's sakes. All right, fine. If you want to do it, whatever. It is what it is. So one more question from the chat. One more question from the chat. That's not a question to Mike. How many days a week to work out hard? I don't even understand that question. I'll ask, what do you think about that, Mike? How many days a week to work out hard?
I'm going to interpret that as how many days a week, like assuming you're training hard, should you work out? Anywhere between 3 and 6. It depends on what you're doing too, though. I think 3 to 4 days of intense strength training. Intense meaning good form, and you're at least getting within a couple reps of failure on a given exercise. 3 to 4 days for 45 to 60 minutes is a good target.
I like that. I like that a lot. I'm getting fired up. I was already working out hard. Now I'm getting more fired up, man. I don't know.
I'm fired up for my content.
I know you are. I know this. So I feel like Mike like really wants to do content, but he also really wants to do literally everything in the entire world. And he's good at a lot of things he does. And he also likes to work hard at a lot of things he does. So then when he starts working at so many different things, he ends up working really hard at all of them. And then at one point in time, he's like, I need to fucking dial it back a little bit from something. But now he has a justification in his mind to actually focus on some of these platforms that he has in the past thought might be taking some of the energy out of him. And now he has a purpose to be on those because of the bet with me. So now he's feeling good about that to him. Am I right a little bit here? What do you think?
Like a therapy session.
I know, crazy, right?
Psychologist Joe Ingram.
Telling you, man, I feel like I'm close there. And I feel like the only reason I know that is because I've talked to you a lot and because I feel that with myself. So that's the reason why. So I'm drawing from my own self here. Okay, one more good question here. Hold on a second. Mark LaHood. What's a good diet for someone who is new to working out?
Depends what your goals are, but if you want to have less body fat and be leaner, I would focus primarily on lean protein and vegetables. Getting most of your foods from whole food sources, but some of them from processed foods and foods that you really enjoy. Maybe like 10 to 20% of your total diet. And ideally, I mentioned this earlier, tracking your calories and or macronutrients so you know approximately where you're at in a given day.
Boom. I love it. I just learned some life-changing information here, and I'm not going to share it with everyone out there. And that's it, guys. If you want to follow Mike, check out Mike on Twitter at Mike Vacanti, not Mike VI, it's VA, which I sometimes spell it VI in my mind because it sounds like the Conti, like VI. And check out his Twitter, check out the Instagram. He's always putting out a lot of good stuff. He ain't gonna waste your fucking time, like I might do sometimes with some of my posts. It's true, I do. I'm done. I feel like sometimes I'm just wasting people's time. Sometimes some of the shit. I mean, most times I'm not, but sometimes I might. You know, I don't know.
It's fun. I'm always down to talk. This is great. I can't believe you're going to jerk off 24 times in 24 hours. I really like you and I faith in you, but if anyone wants the other side of that, like,
are you fucking kidding me right? No.
I think it's free money for your buddies at Daily Fantasy Sports. And I love all your prop bets, but I think it's impossible.
Dog. Wow, this is shocking.
I know, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like end on such a negative.
I'm 100. I mean, saying negative. I'm fired up now. I'm ready to go jack off 25 times right now. Or you can. I'm going right now, and I'm no. So I said no. Okay, I can't do it. No, that'll be legendary. No.
I hope you do it. I hope you win. Like that'd be sick. It just seems insane.
Yeah, we'll see, guys. Listen, guys, you guys know me. I like a challenge. It sounds like a legendary thing, right? How many times can you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Is what it is. Guys, we're out. I'm going to be back with another podcast. We might do another Barry Greenstein podcast this weekend. I have a legend of the poker world. John Duthie. He created the European Poker Tour. He is the person that is the president of the Party Poker Live events right now, which is why they're crushing so hard. Plays high stakes. He loves talking shit, I can tell, and he wants to fire some shots. Very excited to have him on next Tuesday. And I think we're going to have Jason Kuhn back on as well, too, debatably one of the fittest men in poker as well. Maybe Bryn Kenny. I think we're supposed to work out a date with me and Bryn Kenny as well, too. And maybe my young, beautiful friend Ebony will be back on. And then me and Sasha are going to do something together, maybe today or on Sunday as well, too. So that's what we got coming up. And that's it. Much love, guys. Adios. Peace out. Mike, let's work out these prop bet details off the camera here.